Sure, Masandawana, we are back another installment ya the Yellow Corner, bringing you the preview of our Nedbank Cup quarter-final match against Sekhukhune United that will be taking place on Friday night at 7 o'clock at the Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium. And yeah, we are back once again doing the preview, a match that we had already done, but a lot of things have changed. If certain things hadn't changed, we're not gonna do it another preview. But a lot has changed since the last preview we did. Game, as you may all know, the game was cancelled due to certain issues that had to do with poor administration, but not from our side. Perhaps, how are you?
Yeah, no, I'm good as well. It's great to be back again, man.
I knew you were gonna say you're good because you go to Liakwalo on Friday, so you can't wait to go on leave. Ne?
Yeah, no, Lohona rest like other people, man. We need to rest, man.
Yeah, before we get into the preview of this match, man, we are recording this on Wednesday morning, the day after Bafana did us proud, so it's only fair that we take our heads off and give credit to Hugo Boss and his technical team and his boys. We edging closer to qualifying for that 2026 USA, Canada, and Mexico World Cup. And we are doing it without calculators. And yeah, there have been issues here and there with administration issues here and there with regards to Debs. I'm sure you all know what happened in Katabaya Debsa, or what's happening in Katabaya Debsa. But on the field, we are doing the business. And yeah, man, big ups to Hugo Bros and his boys, man. They did us proud in this FIFA International break, obviously getting 6 points out of 6 points. So heads off to them. As well as I think I'm always one to criticize Sundowns. I'm quick to criticize Sundowns, not from a place of what do you call this? I don't know which right word to use, but from a place of care because I love this team, and when things are done in a way that I feel personally are not done correctly, I will say my 2 cents, But when things are done correctly, I will also take my hat off to the club. And I must say, the club is doing a lot of things correctly. Forget about on the field, off the field. The club went to Uganda last week, Thursday or Friday, if I'm not mistaken, to host coaching clinics, And I think we need to give credit where it's true. That's how you grow your brand, not just locally, but internationally, those coaching clinics are going to remain with those kids for the rest of their lives. Because I've been a child, I know when you meet people that you see on TV, people that you idolize, and I think Sundowns is going about it the right way, and I hope Uganda won't be our final stop. We'll go throughout, we'll travel throughout the African continent and help Ghana support for Sundowns. So next time when we go to these countries to play CAF Champions League matches, we have a few hundreds or thousands, thousand supporters cheering us. Because I can tell you now, those kids, them receiving Jetele Sundowns, Puma, they will be their most prized assets for as long as they can remember. And Sundowns will always be that team, for them. So credit to the club. We always see our international clubs do such tours, taking the ambassadors, going to places like Asia, more soccer off season, So it's great to see Sundowns doing such things, and it can only but help grow brand Mamelodi Sundowns. So credit to Kloppy and his entourage as well, man. Raps, getting into the game. Now this is where I need you now. Sorry for talking for a good 4 minutes, kill you while making it a solo preview. Getting into the game, man. We are playing Sekhukhune. Sekhukhune who recently fired Kautal, Fernando Siema, but it's Eric Tinkler. Your thoughts on Eric Tinkler's appointment?
I think you saw it coming, guys. I think whether on that episode we shot, yeah, the game that was postponed, or on that game whereby we won 4-2. But I remember one of the preview you spoke about their next appointment will be Eric Tinkler, man. So I, I I didn't disagree with you because of I know how our teams operate, man. Once a coach is unavailable, you know that there's a next team where he will go. Like some coaches they rotate within the PSL. So I think it was anticipated that Eric Tinkler might join Kukune, but how they let go of CM, I think it was unfair, man. Like we look at how Kukune have been performing this season, and when he was released, as Kukune, they were fed on the log, and the gap between them and Orlando Pirates was not even that huge. As much as there was a gap, but the that wasn't a bigger gap, and they had the potential maybe to be on to maintain that third position and maybe go to the CAF Confederations Cup, man. So I think letting go of Siema, man, like it was totally unfair. You look at the changes that he brought to Skukune, because of earlier in the season we were more worried about how Skukune they are signing a lot of players who are experienced, but he managed to deal with those players and he succeeded, man. He did very well, and also uh, over early on the quarterfinals of the Nedbank Cup. So he was doing very well for the team. So I think Skukune letting go of SCM, I think it was unfair, and I hopefully they won't regret, but it was unfair, man.
Do you think Tinkler is a good or great appointment?
I don't think so, man. Like yeah, I think he first of all he overstayed himself. Go Cape Town City, man. Like there was a certain point where Cape Town City was just stagnant. You didn't see whether they are growing as a team in terms of the performance on the field or they are declining. So I think he failed to take Cape Town City to a much greater height or to another level. So I think coming to Skukune, man, I don't see him succeeding. I don't see him maintaining what Siema left in the team. So I doubt even they will be maybe on the top four on the league when the league ends.
You know, I just don't see or understand the logic behind hiring Eric. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really baffles me because is he an upgrade from Siema? No, he's not. So I'd like to believe, or when you replace a coach, that coach who's incoming needs to be an upgrade from what you had previously. And he's not for me. He's like, and the timing of it, it just doesn't make sense. So I just don't understand. And you look at his tenure, like you said, at Cape Town City, they were just not going anywhere. I think his win percentage when he went back to Cape Town City was 36%, if I'm not mistaken. Which is not wow, it's not over 50%. And you ask yourself, oh, okay, what is it that they are seeing that he will bring to Cape Town City that CMO didn't have or wasn't bringing? Is he going to improve players? I don't know. But he's remember a few last year actually. Got the last preview of the year when we previewed Game Yarona Le Bona Cape Town City before they beat us. I said Hudeman is one of my favorite players in the league, but he has not improved. I mentioned there are a lot of players that I'm seeing at Cape Town City that have not improved. They have been the same or even declined. You look at Jaden Rhodes. Jaden Rhodes was very good last season. Jaden Rhodes this season is just another player, and we know how damn good Rhodes is. So I don't know, man. I just don't understand the logic behind hiring Eric Ting. I have nothing against Eric, but I just don't understand the logic of replacing him at Siema with him, and if he's going to move the club to another level. I just don't see it happening. But yeah, moving along, Raps. We spoke about Bafana when we started, and we know we're playing in Ivory Coast on Tuesday. This game is taking place on Friday. And I know they definitely chartered to Ivory Coast. So I'm not sure if they left immediately after the game or they will leave this morning and arrive in South Africa today. With that in mind, do we field our Bafana internationals? Because I don't think we should. I think we have I always say this in almost every preview. We always talk about the depth and quality that we have at Sundowns, and we need to start using it. Like showing what we have. We have it. I mean, yes, the situation is not ideal. I'm not happy with how or when we are playing this game just a few days after the international break. And we have an important CAF Champions League quarterfinal in like 7 days from the Bafana International. I'm not happy with that. But it is what it is. We are playing on Friday. There's nothing we can do about it. But we need to start using our depth. You can't complain or no. We've been dealt a bad a pair of cards, which is two. But we can mitigate this situation, and play the players that we have and players who are quality. So now, I personally wouldn't play the Bafana Internationals. There are guys that I think they could possibly play, like Debza because he didn't play the last game, like Grant because he hasn't been playing. He didn't play any of those games, like Gimang Reyners. He came on the last few minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if they play. But for the rest, I think we should play the guys who were around, during this international break. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and I think first of all, I think it was quite unfair for our game to be scheduled on Friday, man, because of there's a lot of traveling that needs to be done, man, and we know how difficult it is to travel around our continent. It's not as easy as the Europeans, but uh, we have to face it. The game is on Friday, so we have to deal with it. And I think this game being scheduled on Friday, I think it will test the depth that we have within our team. Like we always speak about our depth inside on the team. So I think this will be a huge test story. Will those guys that will be given the chance to play, will they be able to prove themselves and also to win and get a positive result? So I think as much as we are not happy that we will be missing most of our key players, but we still have the players that are able to make the 18-man squad. So I think we have to go on. Complaining won't help us anymore. So I think we have to deal with the whole circumstance that we are facing. So I think this is a test for our depth, and the guys then to actually the minutes throughout the season, man.
So you'd also play Majida, who didn't travel much. Let me put it that way. Like Majida, who
Yeah,
stayed behind. Yeah.
yeah, their guys still they were not part of it, or they didn't represent the national team who will play. And I believe that some of the guys who didn't play the second game here the international week, I think some of them will play as much as they traveled with their national teams, but they did not feature on the second games of the international week.
Okay, Feze. What do you expect from this game? How do we win it? How do we advance to the semi-final and face Amakusi?
I think first of all, I think Skukure, they have a slight advantage over us because of they have all their regular players, and Sandos they don't have all their regular players. So I think in terms of the chemistry between two teams that will play on Friday, I think that the one from Skukune will be much better because of the guys that are likely to play that game are the guys that have been playing together throughout the season. As for Sundowns, we have to chop and change here and there. So I think it might affect how we perform or how we play. But because of we knew, I think Coach Cardoso had ample time to try and ensure that these players they are able to go on the pitch and deliver. And for Skukune, I think the last time they played in a cup final was against Orlando Pirates in the Leonardo Nedbank Cup, and they lost 2-1. So I think they know that eliminating Sundowns on the quarterfinal brings them closer to getting on the final. So I think Skukune will go all out because of this is a cup game. Anything can happen. So I think we might expect a different Skukune side compared to the one we faced when we played them on the league. And as far as Kukune in their defense, man, I think they are struggling, man. More recently, because of, you look at the type of goals that they concede. Uh, First of all, when we played them against, when we played them on the league, there was a ball, diagonal ball that was played behind their defense, and Tapelo managed to get hold of the ball, and he scored a wonderful goal. And look at the goal that Sibanku scored against Skukun, whereby he came from behind. Mokhaila was not even aware of Sibanku, or he was attacking the ball. So I think they are considering that they are conceding similar goals, and I think they need to improve as much as Khaila going forward. He's positive. He can connect with forward players, and also he can strike a ball from outside the box. But the defensive duties, I think that's where he lack. As much as he has the pace, but it's all about the positioning sometimes. Or as a defender, how do you position yourself, and so that you are able to see the ball, and to see that the opponents that you're supposed to close down. And against, in their last game, they played a double pivot of Monari as well as Chize, man. And knowing the two midfielders, man, I didn't see the aggression, because I know Monari always has that aggression to close down the gaps, and also to press in certain moments, as well as Mkhize. But against Stelis, man, I think that they were much slow. They did not press in time, and also when they pressed, their press was not organized. So I think if they did want to uh, uh, have an advantage, or to dominate this game, I think they need to come up with the solutions in the middle field, because if they lose the battle on the middle field, that's where Sanders will have the advantage. And also, you cannot speak about Kukune without mentioning Lenam Tambore, how wonderful he has been this season, man. Like, as much as he has the leadership skills, but as well as on the pitch, he delivers, man. And that's what you want to see from the captain, man. You don't want him to lead the team only, but the performance on the pitch should show this is the leader of the team, and how he's able to get on the final third and score important goals, and how he's able to link the middle field with the attack. And sometimes he's even playing that false number 9, because of in the Nedbank Cup, I think it was against Milford. I think he was playing as a false number 9, and he managed to score, I think, a brace. So it shows that he's doing very well. And another threat from Skukune comes from Keleto Makhala, as well as Ohiz. We know that Keleto Makhala, in terms of eliminating defenders, and also his goal contribution, I think he has done very well. And we know that Keleto in the past seasons, like, in say, not struggle here and there, but he managed to rejuvenate his career, goes Kukune. And Ohizu, man, like, I think he has scored in 3 games in a row now, and he's very lethal on headers. Like, the amount of aerial balls that he wins, I think our defense should be able to track his movement inside the box, and also our fullbacks should be able to ensure that they prevent the wingers of Kukune from playing crosses, because of, if Kukune, we block them, or we minimize the crosses that they play into our box, I think Ohizo won't be able to get those balls inside the box. But if we are not pressing enough on the wide channels, that's where there will be a room for crosses, and Ohizo might be able to attack those balls. And for Sunwolves, we need to deal with the threat that comes from the fullbacks, as well as the wingers of Skukun. On the wingers, they have speedy wingers. They have the likes of Keleto and Otlagisa, as well as their fullbacks. They have Boshon Mkhaile, as well as Letlapa. So sometimes we may not see enough battle on the middle field. Sometimes the battle might come from the wide channel. So we should be able to compete, as well as on the wide channels. And I believe that that's where Skukune, they are dangerous, and that's where they are likely, or the goals are likely to come from the wide channels, because of they are good in terms of going forward, but they are bad in terms of defending, and I think we might capitalize on that. And lastly, the, their first goal in terms of the average time is on the 44th minute. So that is a minute before the interval. So it shows Sundowns on the crucial stages of the game, we should be able to concentrate and should be able to be switched on so that they don't get that goal before the interval. Because of you look at the stats, it says around minute 44, that's where their first goal comes. So I think it will be very important for us in the last 5 minutes before the halftime. We're able to maintain and ensure that we go to the halftime, the score favoring us. And lastly, I spoke about how their double pivot it is slow. I think we should be able to progress the ball much faster. We should be able to use the intensity. We are able to get behind their double pivot because I spoke about how Monare as well as Mchize, they are not quick enough to close down the opponents or to even cut the attacks that the opponents. So I think we need to be precise on the middle field, and also we need to use the right intensity so that we are able to pass through the middle field of Sekhukhune, man.
Yeah, I know you said a mouthful, eh? It shows that you missed being on the yellow corner, man, eh? But I agree with what you said, Raps. It's funny that you mentioned conceding or when they score their goals, like at the crucial stages of the game, and you look back to our last game and what happened in the first 4 or 5 minutes of that game, a disaster class, man. But yeah, man. Oh, by the way, when I spoke about Tinkler improving players, have you noticed since he started coaching Sekhukhune, Mbule hasn't started any of the first 2 games, and then Mbule, go watch the first minute. Yes, second half year game, their last game, I think it was Stelis, and just watch that minute. That's it, and see what Mbule does in that minute. That minute only, But yeah, man. They've started playing Cardoso again, and I don't think he improves their centre back pairing. I think it's still the same. I think that's where they struggle the most, and I think the central defense is their soft underbelly. You mentioned Ohizo, someone that has started playing now. He wasn't playing a lot this season. Boyeli was the main man at Sekhukhune. And I've, I have a feeling where he will cause us trouble, and not necessarily or in the box, but with how Suarez, I think they might have seen the weakness here. Suarez said how he gets dragged to the wide channel, and then when he gets there, he's beaten by the forwards. You look at what Lolipo did against him when he played against Chiefs. You look at what Mahopa did to him when he played Pirates. So I think off the ball, Rizzo might look to drag him out of possession and then beat him for pace from there. But he will also be a threat in the box, like you said, or aerially he's just magnificent, And I once again want to reiterate Mukhaila, like you said, he brings a threat bombing forward, but defensively he is so poor, And I think Salas will cause him problem because that's where our left Salas starting. You mentioned Goliele, go against the Steadies, so I think we can head them because of. I think the only person that I think is solid in that defense, Keleka, for Sekhukhune, but the rest I think we can get at them. You mentioned Setiabone, it will definitely come from the white spaces with Keleto. We've said enough about Keleto. Keleto has been absolutely magnificent. For me, one of the contenders, player of the season this season. You look at his stats and the eye test, I think they put a good case for him. I'm not saying he must win it. I'm saying he's one of the contenders or the nominees, because I think he's had a brilliant season. I'm not sure if Nto will play or Tladisa will play in this game. So I think they will go for Mukuane. I used to think this boy is same as Mukwena for the longest time, and I think he's very, very good and very, very direct, and he will definitely pose a threat later. Will definitely dominate possession in this game, but I do not think they will mind that. I think it will actually play to their hands. They will use that against us. Because if you look at the first game, the league game that we played not so long ago, we played through them, from the back. You look at the goal, Morena, Ribeiro, Morena's Awilente, and another goal, and every time they started when they pressed us, yes, they got a goal. It was just us being silly when they scored that second goal, But I think this us having a possession will suit them because they can let us come to them, and then once they regain possession, they will definitely use Pacia, Keletsos an outball, and maybe Ohizo, where I said he will probably drag Suarez to the side. So I think that's where they might hurt us, but defensively they are not good, and in the middle of the park we will win that battle. Hence, I think this will give us an upper hand. Your lineup?
So I'll have Jody February as my number one because of I know once Denis Oyango visit his camp, he's likely to come a month later, man. So I'll have Jody February. My big four. I'll have Mudunyela, Koza, Suarez, as well as Terrace Mashiko. Then my midfield three. My midfield three, I'll have Debza, Mkhulise, as well as Maim. I think my deserve they start. Look at how he has been representing the national team and how he performed. So I think he deserves a start. And my front three, I'll have Sales, Ribeiro, and Matthews.
Kimanga Salang 9, focal point of attack. Sales.
I want Sales to play as a target man instead of him playing on the side or dropping a little deep. I want to see him inside the box and see what he can give us, because most of the time I think he's he can map hit. The action happens more outside the box. So I want to see him, the danger that he can possess when he's playing inside the box where there's congestion, man.
You will never get the best out of Sales Alimo. Go watch the video that I did for goal when he signed for Sundowns. The first video that I did for goal. Sundowns, if you watched his clips playing for his team, you'll not get the best of Sales there. But yeah, it is what it is when Amashiko. I will have Denis Onyango. I think he's back. I'll have Mdunyelwa. I want to see Cupido start the game, so I'll have Cupido. I think Suarez will definitely start, and I'll have Tiwani playing at left back after captaining the under 20 and 20s, and I think he did really, really well. I'll have Mkhulise as a 6. Allende and Mayema, my 2 8s, Ribeiro, Sales, and Shaluli. Shaluli played in Namibia on Monday, so he had ample time to come back and recover. Score prediction?
I think 1-1, then we'll win on penalties.
Oh, okay. I'll go for a 2-1 win and we advance to the semis. Thank you guys for watching. Please continue subscribing and helping us grow the channel, spread the word about this YouTube channel, the Sundowns Supporters, where we preview all Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club matches. And next time you will see us will be on Sunday, bringing you the preview of our much anticipated clash in the CAF Champions League as we face Esperance Sportive Club in the quarter-finals. The preview will be on Sunday. I think, I'm not sure if I said that, but yeah, we'll get that preview on Sunday. Until then, sharp raps, sharp Masandawan.
Sharp Ezo, sharp Masandawan.